Okay, so what I want to address in this post is I want to talk about what blockchain actually is. Now, a lot of people have come up and asked me this question. They've even seen videos on YouTube or they've read articles and they say, Sean, I still don't know what blockchain actually is. Explain this to me. And that's what we're going to cover right now. Now, in my words, blockchain is a ledger of trust. And I'm talking very loosely, very high level. And it's uncanny to me because I am old enough to remember what the world was like when there was no internet. And people were very confused when the internet came out. You know, questions you would hear around the dinner table were, what is internet? What is website? And now it's become second nature. So the internet technology has only exponentially grown, and blockchain as a result of that is a technology within that is also growing. So really, I like to say that blockchain is a ledger of trust. Now, what do I mean by that? So when you think about blockchain, what actually happens here is all the transactions that have happened in a previous record are included in the next record. So every time there's a record on the blockchain on a ledger, so just think of a ledger where you've got records, transactions, every new transaction is including the information for all previous transactions in that. Now, again, I'm talking very loosely. But when you think about that in principle, what's happening there is if you try to go back in time and fraudulently change a record in the past, it won't reconcile with all future records. So to hack the blockchain, which is possible, to hack the blockchain, you would actually have to hack all the previous records as well. So it would actually cost you more money to hack blockchain than it's worth. Now, what are we talking about records? This is profound, and I think people really overlook this. This is why blockchain is very revolutionary and very powerful and also quite scary at the same time. If you think about it, if you have a distributed ledger, so blockchain is distributed to everyone on that ledger, that really can't be hacked, or there's no point to hacking it, and you can record transactions on there that are immutable. You cannot change them. Once they're in there, they're in there. You have a system of trust with no middleman. Now, this is quite profound because most industries online right now exist as a middleman. I take a freelancing website like Upwork, for example. Upwork, puts customers and vendors together. So Joe Blogs will do work for Fred Smith. Upwork will facilitate that transaction, record that transaction, and they will take care of all the security, etc. But they will charge 20% to that freelancer, for example, and a percentage as well to the customer who's paying. So this is very, very interesting because then you look at the blockchain technology equivalent, which is expertise, that removes that. Freelancers can now interact with customers through transactions with no middleman and pay no fees. So you've almost now disrupted an entire industry out there that uses that dynamic to make money. But now with the blockchain, you don't need that. So a lot of blockchain technologies that are emerging right now, or blockchain solutions that are emerging right now, are what I would call disruptive. Now, in my opinion, these disruptive blockchain technologies are going to take a lot longer to take effect. We're talking 15, 20, 30 years from now. The blockchain technologies that are coming out today that solve real world problems that we couldn't solve because we weren't using blockchain as a technology before, they are the technologies that are going to win today. But I digress. Really, what is blockchain? Here, I've got a very good quote about it. It's an authenticated data structure based on a distributed ledger. That's really the terminology for what blockchain is. If you think about it, if you were to store data on a database today, it can be hacked, it can be changed. You have to pay money to manage that database. Maybe you are using that data and it's a business, like the Upwork example I just gave. Well, now you have blockchain, which is like a database. Think of it like a distributed database, but every transaction is recorded in the new set of data and you cannot break that. So there's so much to go into on blockchain. I just wanted to do this first post just to really help people understand at a basic level, at a high level, what blockchain is. The only other thing I wanted to mention here is that, remember, when you have a technology and people become aware of it and it's a useful technology, it doesn't go backwards. With any technology, it only grows and moves forward and emerges into a better and more improved technology. And that's really what we're having here. This is what we're seeing here. And we're very early on in this cycle. So if you have any questions, make sure that you submit a post or post a comment or whatever, and I would like to address any questions if I haven't cleared anything up. We can get as detailed as you want to get, but I hope you found this useful and that it actually just clarifies what blockchain is and why it's so profound.